The Unmasked toy mod just dropped in FNF, and this mod contains various creepypastas and parodies based around the Toy Story characters and the cartoon in general. And while we don't get any information as to why boyfriend, girlfriend, and Pico are in this situation, where they basically have to battle against evil versions of Woody, there is some interesting lore about each of the characters, starting with the FNAF Woody. I think the name gives this one away, but the backstory deals with Andy giving his toys away to this new little kid and telling him to take care of the toys or the toys will take care of him. Now, after doing a bit of research, the kid learns that the toys are haunted and basically out for blood. In the animation, you can actually see each of the toys come to life and they have like evil little faces about them, and it's supposed to be a parody of FNAF, so I guess the toys are supposed to act as animatronics in a way. Now, you may also notice that in the background of the song, you can see that the kid's computer is open to an article that speaks about the Bite of 95, which is a reference to the FNAF Bite of 87 article. And while all the toys were technically possessed in the original animation, Woody was the ringleader, which is why he's the opponent in this actual mod. And while the original animation was very short, I think it was very well done and definitely worth checking out. The next version of Woody was made specifically for this mod, and I call him Unmasked Woody. Now, there isn't a lot of information about him, but what I can gather is that he's like another evil version of Woody that wants to destroy all the other toys so that Andy will be forced to play with him, which is a dark twist on the fear that Woody had in the first Toy Story movie about being forgotten and thrown aside by Andy as better toys came into his life. Something that I find very interesting about this character is that in the game file, you can see that not only has he killed Buzz and taken his wings, but he also takes Forky's face and wears it like a mask. And while it's hard to tell, it seems like he also has pieces of other toys on his person as well, almost as if he believes that by taking pieces away from other toys, it will make him seem more desirable to Andy. In my opinion, this is actually a really cool concept, and I hope they do more with this lore in the future for this mod. Next, we have a version of Woody called Misfit Woody, and while I can't find a whole lot of information on his lore, there is a lot of artwork on the DeviantArt website and a few comic dubs with Misfit taking out other toys from the Toy Story universe. All we really know about this guy is that he's not actually Woody, but some evil lookalike that wants to spill and drink your blood. Luckily, his opponent ends up being Pico, because I think you need someone that's a little bit crazy to deal with a character like Misfit. And one thing that I found interesting about their fight is that Pico actually takes quite a few gunshots at Misfits throughout the song, but he's able to deflect the bullets with his knife, showing that he's definitely dangerous and he can actually defend himself and fight. Next up on the list is going to be a character that I covered in the past, and that is Woody.exe, and this backstory goes like this. Now, as many of you know, one of the main antagonists of ToyStory.exe is Woody, aka Woody.exe, who is literally trying to murder all the toys. But what a lot of people don't know is that Woody is actually possessed by an evil spirit named Rosperow. We don't know a whole lot about this entity, but what we do know is that it has two forms. One is just a red ball of energy, and the other form looks like a baby devil. Now, many centuries ago, Rosperow was basically wreaking havoc on the world until an ancient sultan banished him to hell. Rosperow stayed in hell until a street urchin resurrected him by using a blood sacrifice, which happened to be a character known as Aladdin. And this was actually the first person that Rosperow tried to possess, but Aladdin was too powerful to be overtaken, and Rosperow ended up running away to a different world, that of course being the world of Toy Story. This is where Rosperow was able to find some much easier prey, aka Woody, who he ends up possessing, and then he basically uses Woody's body to terrorize all these other toys because they aren't able to fend him off. In the actual story, Woody ends up killing Bo Peep, Slinky, Rex, Mr. Potato Head, and he attempts to kill Rocky. But Rocky is actually able to escape the house and make it to a molehill outside where he fights Woody and actually defeats him. Or so he thought. After Rocky leaves Woody lying in the dirt, Woody actually opens his eyes again and says that he'll kill Rocky and all the toys that he left alive. Now, many people are wondering what happened to Andy during all this time, and the answer is that he was killed by Woody. If you remember in the beginning of the video game, you actually see an image of Andy with his eyes and mouth sewn together. This happens because before Woody is possessed, Andy is playing with him and he ends up disconnecting his head. This freaks Andy out, and instead of fixing Woody's head, he basically just leaves him on the shelf. When Rosperow possessed Woody, one of the first things that he did was kill Andy, and this also explains why Woody is floating around with no head during the video game. Next on the list, we have Black Friday Woody, and his backstory is like this right here. This specific version of Woody right here is from the Black Friday Incident creepypasta. It's basically a story where Disney was pressuring Pixar to make a Toy Story movie that was more edgy. So in response, the writers made a version of Woody that is basically the opposite of the Woody that we know and love. He was mean, crude, and pretty much evil, and in the actual animation, he even kills Buzz. It's also stated that Disney overworked the Pixar animators so much that some of them ended up having heart attacks because they weren't getting enough sleep, which I know sounds fake in a way, but apparently your organs will shut down if you don't get enough sleep. If you guys want me to give you a full breakdown of the Black Friday incident, let me know, but it is surprisingly dark. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here. Subscribe today, become a member of the Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace, peace.